that little bird has chosen its shelter. Above it are the stars, the vast skies, and the magical heaven. Yet, it's rocking itself to sleep, not caring about tomorrow's lodging, calmly clinging to its little twig, and leaving you to ponder over it. Chilika, the largest brackish water lagoon in Asia, welcomes lakhs of winged guests every year that descend on the wetlands from far-off countries. Situated in Orissa, Chilika Lake is a Ramsar site and a haven for birds, both resident and migratory. Mangalajodi, a village situated about 35 kilometers from Balugao on the southeastern railway track on Chilika, is unique in tracking birds with a vibrant checklist of 236 members. Flocks of migratory birds migrate to these wetlands in winter, while the migratory flocks include Brahmini ducks, black-tailed godwit, plover, marsh sandpiper, openbill, and others, birds like pratincoal, rails, jacana, stilts, purple moorhen, spot-billed duck, and others dominate the residents' colony. The marshes, lowlands, and islands with tall and short grasses provide the right ambience to nest or roost. Grasses locally called null, lily, provide the resting ground and the necessary shelter to hide from predators and poachers, and the grass called piruti are chosen for nesting by the short-legged shorebirds. The lake is rich in aquatic life that includes fish, crustaceans, crabs, prawns, and others. fishing is an important source of livelihood for the locals. Hundreds of small boats set sail every day to bring in the day's catch from the lake. Mangalajodi is no exception, and very many forms of fishing practices like jona, khonda, jalgheri or polua are noticed while stalking around. But it also includes the practice of setting up fishing nets to capture birds, and poaching is a common phenomenon in these regions. Non-vegetarian in food habits, people from this part of the country consider birds as a major delicacy. A good quantity is consumed locally, while many of these birds are sold regularly in the open market. Sale of birds' eggs is another source of income for the poachers, who could earn anything between Rs 10,000 and 40,000 a year. Thus, a few catches a day not only provide cash, but also the protein intake for the poor villagers. Traps, guns, poisons are commonly used in these killing fields. And there stands villages like Mangalajodi, Sorona, Satpara, Sundarpur, who have played an exemplary role and have succeeded to a large extent in challenging this menace. Each of these villages is inhabited by 70 to 80 poachers, proficient in the use of various techniques to kill birds, resident and migratory. To stop this menace, the members of Wild Orissa ventured into the villages of Mangalajodi in 1996-97. The organization managed to identify the potential bird catchers who were residents of places around the lake. On the 10th of December 2000, Wild Orissa led to the formation of a bird protection committee named Shri Mahavir Pakshya Suraksha Samiti in the village of Mangalajodi. And the most wonderful thing happened. Most of the poachers among the village folk were motivated to be die-hard conservationists through the single-handed efforts of the Vice Chairman of Wild Orissa, Sri Nandakishore Bhujabal. Small boats were procured, and the poacher-turned-conservationists now use these boats for monitoring the bird-breeding habitats, besides practicing fishing. An ecotourism center has been developed, which encourages them to protect the delicate balance of the ecosystem and also generate income in the process. The monitoring activity revealed startling findings. During the dry months of the year, the dried up bed is profusely used by the red wattled lapwing, yellow wattled lapwing and others to breed. During the monsoon months, however, the purple moorhen, purple heron, bronze-winged jacana, pheasant-tailed jacana, spotbill, etc. lay eggs in large numbers. There again, monitoring of the nests and eggs inside the Mangalajodi Khera areas disturbed the nesting birds, which would get distracted, and the crows would then have a chance to swoop down on the exposed eggs and devour them. So, the movement of boats inside the Khera area was minimized and the birds allowed to nest in peace, and this problem was solved to a very large extent. To add to the woes, there was increased cattle movement on the dried lake beds, with foraging buffaloes and goats stamping upon the nests. The members of the Bird Protection Committee have taken several steps to control the movement to a certain extent. In the context of the looming dangers of climate change and massive destruction of wetlands, Wild Orissa has set an example of how a community-oriented conservation approach, even on a micro scale, can create a huge difference. Committed individuals, led by a man with a vision, have engaged in a relentless battle to help protect and conserve, and a unique habitat gets the protection. The elements of nature thrives, regenerates, and grows under the magical skies.